Okay, today we're going to talk about station models. And the whole idea of station model is using numbers and symbols to represent various data such as temperature, pressure, cloud cover, the wind direction, wind speed, how much precipitation you've had the last 6 hours, the change in your pressure. So I need you getting back to your reference table, page 12. Nope, page 13. Take it back, page 13. And we need to go over your reference table, page 13. There's all three things we need to talk about. The first one is temperature. You're looking at Fahrenheit, which is all the way over on the left-hand side, Celsius and Kelvin. All right, Celsius, Kelvin is your easiest one because in order to go from Celsius to Kelvin, all you do is you take whatever you have in Celsius and add 273 to it, and that becomes your Kelvin. So 20 degrees Celsius, add 273 to it, becomes 293 Kelvin. So if I'm looking at Fahrenheit to Celsius, over here on the Fahrenheit side, each of the tiny little lines is going up by 2. So that's 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. 72, 74, 76, 78, 80. So each little line is going up by 2. Whereas in Celsius, each line is going up by 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need you to be able to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Now I could have you do it mathematically, but since you have it here, let's do a little quick review. So if I'm looking for what temperature is 40 Celsius, all I need to do is read directly over. So if you read directly over as what? 100, 102, about 104 degrees Celsius. Same thing as if I have you reading from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you are just going to read over. So if I am looking at it's 80 degrees out, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, read over, you'd find it's 25, 26, 27 degrees Celsius. So all you're doing is reading over. Just got to remember this is going up by 1 on the Celsius, and each of the lines going up by 2 on Fahrenheit. Next, pressure. If I'm looking at pressure, we're talking about millibars or inches of mercury. Alright, so millibars, if I'm looking at it, millibars is each going up by 1. So 988, 989, 990, 991, 992. So millibars each going up by 1. If you're looking at inches of mercury, each little number is going up by 1/100th. So 29.00, 29.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 29.05, 0.6, 0.7, 0.07, 0.08, 0.09, 29.1. So each one's going up by 1/100th there, 0.01. Same thing, if I say the millibars is 1,020 millibars, what is that in inches of mercury? Kind of just read straight over. That's 30.10, 0.11, 0.12. So 30.12 inches of mercury. Same thing, if I need you to go from inches of mercury to millibars, you're just going to read over. So if I said it's 29.85 inches of mercury, you're reading over, you're going to find out it's 1,011 millibars. So all you're doing is you're reading over. These are pressure, units of pressure, units of temperature. Next, looking at your station model. everything's based on the circle. The amount that is shaded in is your cloud cover. So this one, 3/4 of it is shaded in, or 75%, so you say 75% cloud cover. Top left number is your temperature in Fahrenheit. So if they give it to you in Celsius, you got to go back and you got to convert it into Fahrenheit. Notice on the station model, there is no units. The units are dropped. Dead under your temperature is going to be your dew point. Dew point, remember, it's the temperature at which water condenses. All right, that too has got to be in Fahrenheit. The closer those two numbers are together, the temperature and your dew point, more likely you are to have precipitation. If they're the same, you're 100% saturated. So this would probably be all covered in. In between the two of them, you have two things. You have your visibility in miles, and then you have this little symbol here. The little symbol is going to tell you what your present weather is. So if I'm looking at this one, it says snow, which makes sense because if I look at the temperature, it's 28 degrees Fahrenheit out. All right, remember, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Over here on your bottom right is the amount of precipitation in inches in the last 6 hours. So you've had 0.25 inches of precipitation in the last 6 hours. On the top is your barometric pressure or your air pressure. Now with this one, as I said in the notes, what you're doing is you're dropping the decimal and you're only recording the last 3 digits. Remember, if I'm going from the station model back to barometric pressure, I look at the first number. 0 to 4, I add a 10, put a decimal between the last 2 digits. So this is actually 1,019.6 millibars. If the first digit, instead of a 1, was between 5 and 9, you would add a 9 and put a decimal between the last 2 digits. So if, say, this was 996 instead of 196, 996 becomes 999.6 millibars. All right, so you got just remember, if you're going to station model, drop the decimal, last 3 digits. If you're going from station model back to millibars, you got to look at the first digit, 0 to 4, add a 10, 5 to 9, add a 9, and always put a decimal between the last 2 digits. Middle one is your barometric trend. What has happened to your pressure in the last 3 hours? The positive mean has risen, it's increased. Same thing, decimal should be here. So it should be 1.9 millibars. So it has risen 1.9 millibars in the last 3 hours. So mathematically, could I ask you what was the pressure 3 hours ago? Yes, and all you would do is you would subtract the 1.9 millibars from 1,019.6 millibars. If this was a negative, that would tell me that the pressure has dropped in the last 3 hours. All right, just like this little, for math, that's a positive slope. If it had dropped, it would be a negative slope. It would be going down this way. The shaft shows me my wind direction. Wind is where it's coming from, not going to. So this way, here's my west, here's my south, is in between, so my wind is coming from the southwest. These are called feathers. The long feather is 10 knots, short feather is 5 knots. So you add them together, one long is 10, a short is 5, 10 plus 5 is 15 knots. So my wind is coming from the southwest at 15 knots. Now, they also tell you what 1 knot is. 1 knot equals 1.15 miles per hour. All right? So here's your present weather symbols. That goes there. All right, here's all your symbols for your air masses. Remember, first letter is lowercase, second letter is uppercase. So those are all 5. Here's your front, full front, one front, stationary front, included front symbols. They're just black and white. They're just in black. They're not going to be color-coded for you. And here on a weather map, if you see that symbol, it means a hurricane, and that symbol means a tornado. All right, we're going to go over, I'm going to give you station models. You're going to have to be able to create them. I'll give you a station model. You're going to have to fill one in with me. and then I'll give you the station model, and you're going to have to extrapolate the information out of it. All right, on this top page it says draw the station model using the following information. So again, here's their information. I would use your reference table, page 13, as a source. So if I'm looking at Sterling, Virginia, my temperature is 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Where, you gotta think, where does your temperature go? Temperature is going to go upper left-hand corner. Remember, I do not put units. So 33. Then my dew point is directly underneath, 16. Again, I don't put units. My wind direction is coming from the west-northwest. So here's north, here's west. Here is northwest. West-northwest is half between northwest and west. So it's coming this way. At 15, we're going to say miles per hour. We're going to leave it as, thinking as it's knots. So remember, long feather is 10, short feather is 5. It doesn't matter what side of the wind shaft you put it on. Cloud cover is 50%, so half of it is shaded in. It doesn't matter what half you shade in. My pressure is 1,011.2 millibars. I'm dropping the decimal, I'm dropping the unit, and I'm only writing the last 3 digits. So 1,011.2 becomes 112, 112, and whether you have none. So that would be your station model. Next one, San Diego, California. Temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. My dew point is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. My wind direction is west-northwest. Once again, west, northwest, halfway between. 5 knots, so I just need a short. Cloud cover is 50%, so I'm coloring half of it. I know you guys are going to do a better job coloring that in. My pressure is 1,016.3 millibars. Drop the millibars, drop the decimal, and write the last 3 digits. Becomes 163. And I have no current weather. So there's my station model for San Diego, California. Next one, San Jose, Argentina. Temperature is 93 degrees Fahrenheit. My dew point is 75. My wind direction is north-northeast. Here's north, here's east, here's northeast. I'm a little closer to the north. At 5 knots, or 5 miles per hour, we're going to say knots. Cloud cover, and once again, 50%. So half of it's colored in. Like I said, doesn't matter what side. My air pressure is 1,004.1 millibars. Drop the millibars, drop the decimal, last 3 digits. Last 3 digits, 0, 4, 1. Yes, you have to put the 0. And weather, doesn't have any current weather. Last one, Binghamton, New York. Binghamton, 19 degrees Fahrenheit. My dew point is 11. My wind direction is coming from the northwest. 10 miles per hour, we're going to say 10 knots. 100% cloud cover. So that means the whole thing is colored in. And my pressure is 1,006.1 millibars. Got to put the 0, 6, 1 are my last 3 digits. And it said it's snowing. So remember, your symbol goes right here. And the symbol you're getting off your reference table. So that is my station model for Binghamton. Alright, so we have gone from information to station model. Now we're going to need to go from station model to information. So the first one is an example. From your example, they're going to tell you what your temperature is, what your dew point is, wind direction, wind speed, your pressure, current is rain, alright, and they did say the pressure is increasing, but there's no information here that says pressure is increasing. Next one. Alright, first thing is my temperature. So top left, 75. Make sure if you're going from station model to your written, you need to include your units. Don't write your units, I'll be marking it wrong. Dew point bottom left, same thing, 23 degrees Fahrenheit, needs a unit. Wind direction is coming from the north. It's got a short feather, so 5 knots. Cloud cover, none of it is colored in, so 0%. My pressure, first digit is a 0. So remember, 0 to 4, I'm adding a 10 in front of it. Put a decimal between the last 2 digits and add millibars. Current weather, I don't have any symbols, so none. Next one. My air temperature is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. My dew point is 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Really close together, so not shocked that the cloud cover is 100%. My wind direction is coming from the northwest. Wind speed, I have 3 long, so 10, 20, 30 plus a short, 35 knots. Cloud cover, as I said before, is 100%. My pressure, 979, so first digits between a 5 and a 9, add a 9. So 9, 9, 7, 9, decimal between the last 2 digits, becomes 997.9, add millibars. And my current weather is snow, which makes sense looking at the temperature. Next one. My temperature is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew point is 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind direction, I'm coming from the southeast. My winds are calm, I don't have any feathers. So it's less than 5 knots. My cloud cover is 100%. Alright, my air pressure is 103 on the station model. First number, 0 to 4, add a 10. Decimal between the last 2 digits, and then add millibars. If I'm looking at my symbols, I have a thunderstorm. Alright, my next one. My air temperature is 63 degrees Fahrenheit. My dew point is 62 degrees Fahrenheit. They're close together. You know it's probably going to precipitate. My wind direction, I don't have any wind. No shafts. So none. None. Cloud cover is 100% colored in. My pressure is 0, 7, 8. Add a 10 in front of it. Decimal between the last 2 digits, add millibars. Current weather, the lines mean fog. It should be just 2 lines and not 3.